morning. Happy Saturday. Last week we reset. Today's vibe is girl boss. It's about being in charge, empowering yourself, feeling powerful and in control. And so that's the vibe that I'm trying to create today. I'm starting with actually my favorite scent. It is the scent that makes me feel kind of quietly in control. I don't have to tell people I'm a boss. I just am a boss. And that is this label. Sorry, I've had this a while. Is Byredo Unnamed. I think it's also Byredo. They put this out in 2016 for their 10th anniversary. It was a limited edition. And then it came back out in 2023. I think it might have been released in between those two times too. I bought it in 23 in the re-release. I was in London and was just smelling a bunch of different perfumes. And I smelled this and it was game over. I've never smelled anything that smelled like this before. I have looked it up to see officially the notes are, and this is in the Frangetico website. It says that it's a fragrance for women and men. It was launched in 2016. The nose behind the fragrance is Jerome Epinette. Top notes are gin and pink peppercorn. Middle notes are violet and orris root. Base notes are balsam fir and oak moss. I found a review of it on Reddit, and this is like the best review ever, in my opinion. It says, "Oh my God, I can't even begin to describe this scent. I fully understand why Byredo chose to not give this perfume a name. It escapes verbal description. The notes they used include pink pepper and violets and moss. It's an insanely sexy perfume. I just pray that I will never cross a woman wearing this fragrance because I will straight up jump at her. I sprayed it on my arm and had to seriously control myself not to bite my own arm. It is fresh and floral, but also contains a shy darkness and spiciness. The best description would be that it smells like the color dark pink." I don't know that I would describe it as dark pink. Again, pink peppercorn. I don't know what it is about pink peppercorn that I really like. I need to just smell pink peppercorn to know what it smells like. I also had no idea that I liked the scent of violet before this perfume. I had always thought of violet as being powdery and kind of off-putting, like granny-ish. This does not smell granny. And to me, it doesn't smell unisex. I think it smells feminine. There definitely is that balsam scent. I can pick that up. There is a floralness there, which is not your typical floral and is like, it is soft, but not powdery at all. I guess that's the violet. I really like in her description that it says fresh and floral, but contains a shy darkness and spiciness. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like it smells like naturally cool. Like not somebody trying to be cool, but just like you are cool. And so it makes me feel like the best version of me when I wear it. I feel a little cooler wearing this perfume. And whether no one else notices it, I like me in this scent. And the thing is that I do get a lot of compliments on it. I just think it's a scent that goes with me. I have seen lots of negative reviews about it online. And it just must not work for those people because you can't make me not like this scent. I've had it for now almost 3 years, and I'm probably about halfway through, and I'm just praying that they re-release it, and knowing that it was released on the 10th anniversary in 2016. I was hoping that this year it will be re-released because it's the 20th anniversary. They did that in late July, early August, so I'm on the lookout. If you see anything, let me know, because I will be buying. I mean, it's expensive, like far more expensive, far more than I've ever spent on a perfume before. Like, but I will buy more because I don't know if it will ever come back again. So anyway, moving on. Have the scent. To go with the girl boss vibe, I'm going to be having Capri Spritz, which is from Mocktail Club. I've never had this before, so hopefully it's good. It sounds wonderful. It says it's a premium crafted non-alcoholic cocktail with natural ingredients and flavors, pomegranate, cranberry shrub, and lemongrass. It's lightly sparkling, has 80 calories for a 12-ounce can. The ingredients are carbonated water, organic agave syrup, pomegranate juice, cranberry juice, natural flavors, organic apple cider vinegar, monk fruit juice, organic lime juice, and black tea. Well, I like all of those things. I'm not a huge monk fruit fan, but it says monk fruit juice concentrate. I don't like monk fruit as being the only sugar substitute because it has this like almost cooling effect to it. And that in beverages is, I find that unpleasant. So I'm hoping that's not in here. On the can, it says, inspired by global travels and a quest to find healthy, sophisticated, and enjoyable alternatives to alcohol, crafted with pomegranate, cranberry shrub, lemongrass, caffeine-free tea, and a hint of bitter notes. Capri Spritz is inspired by the relaxing vistas of the island of Capri, Italy, and its fragrant citrus. Capri Spritz is a refreshing take on an Italian spritz. So Italian spritz is not necessarily the vibe I'm looking for, but my thought was complex, well-crafted cocktail definitely goes with the girl boss vibe. And I'm having it in an interesting glass, a glass that a friend gave to me that says it was never a dress, basically referring to the women's sign on the bathroom. Instead of it being a dress, it's a person in a cape, because women are superheroes. Okay, it's a pretty color, and it seems pretty sparkly. It said lightly sparkling. We'll see. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it definitely tastes like a cocktail. So it smells kind of herbal and cranberry. So there's a little bit of like Thanksgivingness smell to it. So it tastes, there's something in it that tastes very familiar to me, but I can't think of what that is. It tastes almost like piney, but not in a bad way. Then you have the cranberry. You have that little bit of acidity from the apple cider vinegar. There is a bit of sweetness that cuts that sharpness that's in there, but yet it's not sweet. And there definitely is citrus as well, but it's hard to identify exactly what the citrus is. It could be orange, or it could be lemon, or it could be lime. It's more of a kind of generic citrus note that is kind of helping that vinegar not be too sharp. It's really nice. It's like if you crossed the Italian coast with Thanksgiving, you would get this drink. That's what it tastes like to me. Super great. Okay, get down to business with the makeup. I'm going to be wearing a lot of my favorite makeups today. I have my regular skin prep on. So I'm going to start with foundation, and I'm going to use the Prada Reveal foundation. It is my favorite foundation. I only wear it when I'm wanting like a full look. But Girl Boss definitely would have a full look. It's not a skin tint kind of day. I might need a little bit more. I usually use a pump and a half, and that's just one pump. We'll see. So how was everybody's week? This was one of those weeks that felt like it lasted for 3 weeks. So much is happening, but each day just takes so long. But then the weekends fly by. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know that I got down here very well. Okay. Foundation done. Part of the vibe is feeling confident. And I'm very self-conscious about my under eyes. Using the Refy concealer, and this is shade 3. Oh, the Prada foundation is shade LN5. I think I mentioned in a recent video that I had been trying a lot of different concealers because I keep thinking, I hear about them and I'm like, am I missing out? But I just haven't, I didn't, you know, like I tried the House Labs, just was not very impressed with it. It kind of made my under eyes look older. And this Refy one, it's not that I love it so much. It's that it does what I want it to do. And when I try anything else, it's not as good as this. So I just keep coming back to it. But I wonder, I mean, I see people using concealer and it is like, I don't know if they're using a filter, but it just like smooths out and you see no hint of anything under the eyes. And it doesn't matter what I use, I still have some discoloration there. And it's not awful, but I'm kind of like, what am I not doing right? So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Gonna do a little bit of contour, and I'm gonna go with my favorite one of those as well, which is the Dior Forever in shade 1, which is light. Not a lot. I don't know if this will work. Probably need something bigger. Yeah, let's use the foundation brush, at least down here. The animals are alive today. Dog outside, cat crying in the hall. We hear you. I think the dog was locked out and is not happy. It seems like the people may have left. Okay, I think I got that blended in pretty well. I did want to use a little bit of bronzer today. Not because I think you need to look tan to feel powerful, but having a little bit more color, I think because spring is coming, I'm just wanting a little bit of, I don't know, life in my face. So I'm going to be using the Mob Beauty cream bronzer, which is in shade M80, and I've got it in my little Mob Beauty compact, but it's this shade here. It's pretty rosy. It's very light. I'm going to try using this sponge and see how that goes. And again, just a little bit. I don't want anything too much. Here we go. Just a little bit. Brighten up the face just a little bit. Blush. I'm going to do both a cream and a powder. So starting with the cream, I'm going to use the Westman Atelier in Garçon. This is the only full-size Westman Atelier blush that I have. It's like a mauve-y nude color. The type of color that I tend to gravitate towards. I feel like it's a sophisticated color. Doesn't seem, I don't know, too perky or, I don't know, too playful, more serious, an adult color. It is interesting when I do these vibes to realize the, I don't know, the associations I have for some things that I don't even really realize I have until I say them to you all on camera. I am going to powder today. I'm using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in Cherry Blossom Cake, which is the light pink one. I don't think it really looks pink, but it does keep me from looking too sallow. And I just want to, I really appreciate how this powder blurs, and it does set everything so that it lasts. And if you're gonna be the boss and in control, you need your makeup to stay put all day. Can't be worried about it. Done with the cream product. Actually, I missed one. I am going to use a base eyeshadow today, and I'm going to use, of course, a Merit Solo shadow, but in one of the matte ones, I'm using Social, which is the nudie purple one. And I think I'm just going to use my finger on this today. And I'm doing this because I find when I put down a cream base, my eyeshadow lasts longer. It's like putting down a primer. And these, the Merit Solo Shadows, the matte ones, are really good for doing that. I like this one because with the slight purpleness to it, it keeps things from going too warm on me. It kind of grounds stuff. So that then if I use a warm color or something that has a little bit of warmth on top of it, they balance each other out to be more neutral. The rest of the eye look I am going to do with the Byredo Bibliophilia palette. I love this palette. It is just, it's neutrals, but it has these interesting red tones, which I thought I would never use when I bought it. But they actually work really well, almost as a neutral. So I'm going to use this deep red here instead of a brown or gray in my crease as my depth color. And if you hadn't seen the palette and known that that was a maroon color, you might not realize it when you saw the full look together. Because these colors are not harsh or shocking in any way, and they blend so well. This formula is fantastic. This is the first Byredo palette that I bought. Their quints that they have are just kind of ridiculously priced. And the color stories were never something that I could see myself wearing all 5 colors. I would like 2 of them, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money on something where I'm not going to use the whole thing. These bigger ones that they come out with in the fall before the holidays, I feel like are a much better value because you get 18 shadows. And in this one, I thought I'd use about half the colors, but I have used every single one of these. There are some that I use more. I really love these 2 grays, and I've been using a lot of the red. This is a gorgeous topper color, which I will use today. I've heard it described that there's the cool side and the warm side, but I use them all of the colors together, separate. All right, that almost gave me more of a purple tone together with the social on the bottom, and then that deep red, which these have names, so I'll tell you. Biblioteca. All right, and then I'm gonna use that gray that I really like, that's kind of satiny gray, on the lid. This gray is probably the most used color for me in this palette. And that gray is called Librarium. I am a fan of Librarium. Wearing my suit today. All right, I am gonna finish up the eyes with brows, liner, and mascara. These are products that I use fairly often because it's one of those things when you find something that works, especially as kind of a supporting character, which is kind of how I feel about liners and mascara and my brow product. It's like I'm just gonna use that all the time. So I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in Soft Brown, which is, this is the bigger, like triangle shaped. And I'm going to use my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Rockstar, which is purple. But again, makes me feel powerful because it makes my eyes look even greener, which I like. And then I'm going to use my Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara in Bryn, which is the black color. And I will not talk while doing this so that I can make it go fast, since you've seen it many times before. Okay. Now it's time for a little bit more blush. I'm using one of my favorite blushes, which I don't think I've actually used in one of these videos before. It's the Pat McGrath Blush Without Caution in Flirtatious. So it's a light kind of beige color. Love this blush. It is works really well for fair people, and it is a nice neutral. It's not really a cool blush, and it's not really a warm blush. Kind of wakes things up a little bit. Finally, we've got lips. So I'm going to use two different liners today. First, I'm going to do a stain, which is, this is the NYX Professional Makeup Lip Lingerie Lip Liner Stain in Send Nudes, LLLS09 Lip Liner. I guess it's Lip Lingerie Lip Stain. Yeah, that's 3 L's, S09. I'm just putting this on the line that is like it's part of your lips, but it's not the lip color, to make it so that it looks like it's the lip color. My top lip in particular is so small. I try to do things to make it, I don't know, look normal size. But see, that just adds some contour, so it makes things look a little bit bigger than they are. This color, this is another one of those things that online I thought it might be too dark, but it's really not in person. I will show you on my hand what the color looks like. I know it's hard to see, but that, I guess that's kind of what I like about it, is that it almost looks like a bruise. It is translucent, and the tip has this like ball on it. I don't know if the ball does anything, but it hasn't split apart. I know sometimes when I use makeup things that are basically a marker and they got like a brush tip, it ends up fraying at the end. This has not frayed. It has stayed as a little ball, which I appreciate. Okay, so now I've got that, which is more of like defining my lip than adding color, really. And so then I'm going to also use the Refy Beauty lip pencil in Fig, which is the pinkish one. And I love that these are long wearing liners. Once you can move them when you first put them down and smudge them out. But then once they've set down, like they are there. Which for me, knowing that my makeup is not going anywhere and I don't have to worry about it, is something that is very important to me if I'm in kind of a high stress situation. I want to just know that it looks good and it's doing what I wanted it to do. And I'm not like, oh, I wonder if I have lipstick on my teeth or if my eyeliner wore off. That is not a boss feeling. So, final element before setting spray is lipstick, and I'm going to be using Lisa Eldridge Luxury Lucent Lip Color. And this is in the shade Painterly. I think this was her original lipstick formula. I discovered this shade a couple years ago, I think. It is described as being a deep mauve chocolate. I thought it was going to be too dark for me. I mean, and with that description, deep mauve chocolate. But here is the color, and I will put it on. I love this color. I like that it has some brown. It's got almost a little bit of red in it. It also has some purple in it. So depending on what you're wearing with it, it will lean either more brown or more purple or more red. And you can wear it with all of those things. And then it's a deep color without being too dark for me. It's more of a medium contrast instead of a high contrast color. I just really like it. I'm realizing as I'm putting these things on my hand, let me try this real fast, that I think they're all kind of the same color. Yep. So here we've got, this is the Send Nudes. Then we've got Fig, the other liner that I used, the Refy one. Then Garçon, the blush that I used, the cream blush. And then my lipstick, Painterly. So clearly, this is a color I like. I never really thought about the fact that all of those things were kind of the same color. I am going to put some setting spray on again, just to help with that. I don't have to worry about this. Meld everything together. One more spray because it's so nice. Just, if I could have my house smell like that, I would never leave. It's like empowering and calming at the same time. It just is like, you got this. No need for nerves. Yeah. Complex, interesting, really nice drink. I think this brand has other flavors. I'm gonna have to check it out and see what else I can find, because that is good. Maybe I should zoom out a little bit, maybe. feel ready to take on the world and whatever is thrown at me. I feel confident in myself. I know I feel like me, but I feel like a powerful, strong version of me. I keep saying that word powerful. Maybe I needed that today. Where? Glasses. Not very powerful if I can't see. Okay. All right. So here we are, girl boss, using some of my favorite products. This was a good vibe. I thank you for spending your Saturday with me. If you enjoyed this video, every Saturday I do a vibe video. They are vastly different from each other. You never know what is going to inspire me that week. If you have any ideas for vibes that you'd like to see me create, please suggest them down below. If you have suggestions for products you think I might like, add those too. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe because I have more content like this, but I also have different content too, and you might like some of that. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Saturday.